Mohamed Salah calls for immediate humanitarian aid to Gaza. Liverpool and Egypt striker Mohamed Salah has called for an end to the slaughter in the Israeli-Hamas conflict and for urgent humanitarian aid to be allowed into Gaza. Hundreds of Palestinian civilians were killed in a massive explosion at a hospital in Gaza on Tuesday, while concerns are growing over the depletion of water and food supplies. Both Israel and Hamas have made competing claims about the atrocity, which is thought to have killed at least 500 people. Israel said it would allow Egypt to deliver limited humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip because of the siege imposed by Hamas after its surprise attacks on October 7. In support of the people of Gaza, Salah, through his manager, made an undisclosed donation to the Egyptian Red Crescent Society, a humanitarian organization, which was described as significant. In a video posted on social media on Wednesday evening, Salah described the scenes in the hospital as horrifying and called on leaders to come together to prevent further slaughter of innocent lives. Salah said, "It is not always easy to speak at times like these. There has been so much violence, so much heartbreak and brutality. The escalation in recent weeks is unbearable to witness. All life is sacred and must be protected. The massacres must stop. Families are being torn apart. What is clear now is that humanitarian aid to Gaza must be allowed in immediately. The people there are in terrible conditions. What happened in the hospital last night was appalling. The people of Gaza urgently need food, water, and medical supplies. I call on world leaders to come together to prevent further slaughter of innocent people. Humanity must prevail," he said. Last week, the government encouraged UK sports organisations to pay their respects to the victims of recent violence in Israel and the Gaza Strip. It is understood that the Department for Culture, Media, and Sport has written to various governing bodies suggesting that they pay appropriate tribute at upcoming events. While the government expressed its support for Israel, the Football Association chose not to illuminate the Wembley Arch with the colours of the Israeli flag during England's friendly against Australia last Friday. The English players wore black armbands and a minute's silence was observed before kickoff in respect for the innocent victims of the devastating events in Israel and Palestine. According to reports, Israeli and Palestinian flags will not be allowed in stadiums for Premier League matches from this weekend. The Star of David flag and the Palestinian flag will be banned to ensure that supporters of both sides of the escalating conflict in the Middle East do not use the top-tier grounds to voice their protest. Nicolo denied as Liverpool's injury situation becomes clearer. Before any of Liverpool's new midfielders arrived in the summer, Nicolo was one of the players most linked with the Reds. In the end, Liverpool pursued alternative deals, but Jürgen Klopp still lacks a long-term option in midfield. Inevitably, therefore, the rumours have not completely died down, but Sky Germany correspondent Florian Plettenberg has now claimed that there are no talks, and that Kone is not an issue for Liverpool. The reporter added that he would be allowed to leave in the winter for £40 million, which could attract the Reds. However, Kone has missed most of this season through injury. There has been no official word on Andy Robertson's dislocated shoulder, but the picture of him in a sling has emerged again. At this point, we can assume that no news is bad news. Darwin Núñez suffered cramps at the end of Uruguay's win over Brazil and told El Observador that Núñez will take a long-haul flight home. Conor Bradley is unlikely to return in November, according to Northern Ireland boss Michael O'Neill. Klopp said earlier in October that Bradley needed some time. Reds left-back Luke Chambers injured his ankle in England U20 training and is currently receiving treatment on Merseyside, Paul Joyce reports. Only Kostas Tsimikas remains at left-back. Liverpool could offer 4 players in a mega swap transfer for Bayern Munich ace Jamal Musiala. Liverpool are reportedly interested in signing Bayern Munich star Jamal Musiala and could try to use some of their stars to lure him away from the Bundesliga giants. Jürgen Klopp has significantly reshaped his squad over the summer, and according to German sources, this could continue if the Reds maintain their interest in Musiala. Recent reports have suggested that Liverpool have 4 stars available to use as part of a player plus cash deal. Here are those names. Joel Matip. The Cameroonian has fallen out of favour at Anfield, and Liverpool's desire to sign a stopper suggests the former Schalke star has no future at the club. Matip is a free agent at the end of the season. January is therefore the Reds' last chance to use the 32-year-old in a swap deal and provide Bayern with the defensive transfer they so badly want. Thiago Alcantara. Thiago Alcantara, currently in the final 12 months of his contract on Merseyside, is another player Liverpool could look to use to sign Musiala. Bayern are looking to sign a midfielder in January, and Thiago's history at Bayern and reputation in the Bundesliga could be very persuasive. The 32-year-old has struggled with injuries at Liverpool and has yet to feature this season, and the summer's midfield signings could make it difficult for the Spaniard to break into Klopp's starting 11. Karim Kelleher. The Irish goalkeeper has been linked with a move away from Liverpool over the summer, and the 24-year-old could finally leave the club. With Manuel Neuer reaching the twilight of his career, Bayern could try to give Kelleher a chance and groom him as their new number one for the foreseeable future. Klopp has consistently spoken highly of Karim Kelleher, but ultimately failed to give him enough regular opportunities to justify his continued services. Diogo Jota. With Musiala likely to arrive, Diogo Jota may question how much regular playing time he will get in the future. The 26-year-old remains a rotational option for the Reds, and the arrival of another versatile playmaker risks pushing the former Wolves star out the door. Jota has consistently shown he can play at the highest level, but he has never been a first-team regular under Klopp, and putting him on the bargaining table could allow Bayern to drastically reduce Musiala's asking price. Liverpool could make a move for Nicolo Barella in January. Liverpool have set their sights on Nicolo Barella ahead of the January transfer window, according to Italian sources. Jürgen Klopp continues his search for a new midfield reinforcement, but there are doubts over whether Inter Milan will sanction the sale of their key star mid-season. Nicolo Barella has cemented his place as one of Inter Milan's most important stars over the last few years. He has emerged as a key player since his €42 million transfer to the club and hasn't looked back since. However, his future at the San Siro might look a bit challenging, as a number of top clubs are interested in signing him. Just last summer, the 26-year-old Serie A star attracted a lot of interest, especially from the Premier League. Newcastle United had considered Barella before signing Tonali, and given that Tonali is facing a lengthy ban due to illegal betting charges, he could approach Barella. Newcastle United could present a challenging situation, but it will be Liverpool who will be competing with them. Inter Milan, on the other hand, are looking at different possibilities to improve their squad. Simone Inzaghi is reportedly looking for a new striker, but the club will need money to make the moves happen. Alongside Denzel Dumfries, someone like the 26-year-old Serie A star would certainly bring a considerable fee. According to the report, Inter Milan could open the door to Dumfries' transfer, as they see Barella as much more important to their plans. Therefore, there are doubts as to whether they would authorize the sale of the 26-year-old Serie A star mid-season. Liverpool's interest could turn the midfielder's head.